demonstration site, you should see the green website on your screen. If you want to follow along with your own website, please feel free. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get logged in case you've never done that before. So anytime you're logging into your site, whether you're on the trial still or you are live, you're going to use this key down here at the bottom left. And once you click on that, it's going to ask for your username and password. Username will always be administrator, all lowercase. And then your password will be whatever you've changed it to, or if you haven't changed it yet, it'll be that temporary one that we emailed you. So now that I'm logged into the site, I can now see the editing options up here. And to get started, I'm just going to explain each section of the website, and then from there we'll go through how to edit each one of those sections. So to start us off, we have the menu, which is this top portion up here. This is going to be each page that you have on your website. Then we have the header here, which is this top portion of your website. Then we have this sidebar, or the common content as we call it. Depending on what template you're on, this can either be on the left or the right. And then down here at the very bottom, we have what's called the footer. That's just going to be the very bottom portion of your website. So because the footer, the common content, and the header appear no matter what page you're on, so if I were to hop over to About Us, we're still going to see those same sections in the same spot. So because of that, we actually edit those three sections through this button here, which is called Admin Home. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. This is going to be the administrative area of your website, kind of the back end of things. I'll go through some of the other functions that we have available in here, but to get us started, I'm going to show you where you'll edit those three sections we just looked at. So if you go to this administration tab, you're going to see the header content, which was that top portion, the footer content, that bottom portion, and then the common content, that side area. So I'm going to hop over to the header. So this is going to be the very top portion of your site. This is where you'll want to put the name of your clinic, where you're located, and your phone number. One thing to note here is you'll notice that this is linked. So this means that if a client is looking at your website on their cell phone, they can actually just click on that to call you. To do this, you would just put in your phone number, highlight it, and then if you right-click, the first option is Insert Edit Link, and you can just copy what I've done here, which is putting in TEL, colon, and then your phone number. And then this will be the text that they actually see here. And then once you hit OK, you're going to see that it's now linked. One other thing that you'll want to put in your header is a logo if you have one. If you don't have a logo, we do have designers here that can help you create one. So if you want to send us an email with any ideas that you have or a color scheme that you want to incorporate, definitely feel free to do that and we can help you come up with something. And that's a great way to personalize your website. Jumping back to administration, I'm going to go to that footer content. So we start you off with just two links to a policies page and a privacy page. You can personalize this however you'd like. If you want to change those links or just delete them, you can definitely do that. This is a great place if you're a part of any veterinary organizations. You can put links to those down here. Any awards that you've been given, this might be a good place to list those. So basically whatever you want to stand out to your clients but not be front and center, that's a good place to put that information. And then last but not least, we have the common content, which I also got to through the administration tab. And we start you off with an hours table. If you need to change these, you'll just come into here and change the hours. You can also put an asterisk next to any day and put any special notes about that. If you're closed for a lunchtime or meetings, that's a great place to note that for your clients. This is also where you'll want to put any social media icons or links so that your clients can follow you easily. And I'll go through how to link these and change the buttons as we move along in the orientation. We also start you off with this directions button and link. This is going to lead to your contact us page, which we'll look at once we go back out to the site. And you can add any additional information here that you want to add. So if you wanted to put your phone number here or list your address one more time, or if you want to put any special messages like holiday hours or days that you'll be closed for renovations, anything like that, this is a great place to make that stand out to your client. Going back out to Admin Home, I'm just going to point out a few more things that you can do here. You can edit your account information. You can add some content, which would go to the articles if you have any on your page. you can add users, and you can create email accounts. So this is going to depend on how your domain name is set up with us. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to contact us and we can help you out with that. But this is where you would go to create email accounts. You can create up to 20 email accounts with us. And that would just be something like Dr. Smith at your domain name. I'm going to go back out to admin home. So the last thing that you can do here, which is really important, is you can change your template. This is going to change the entire appearance of your website. So if you're sick of the template you're on now and you want to try something different, this is where you'll come to do that. So this is telling you right now that I'm currently on the cherry template, and it shows me a little image of what it looks like. To change this, I'm just going to click on this button here. And now I see all of the templates that we have available. These are all mobile responsive, so whether you're on a cell phone or a tablet, these will automatically resize for that. You can hover over these to get a little bit larger image of what they look like. And you don't want to get too hung up on the colors or photos that you see with these. You're basically just looking at the bones of what it's giving you. So you're looking at where the common content is, where the menu is. For instance, on this one, we have the menu listed right below the header and the common content on the left. And then on this one, we have the common content and the menu on the left-hand side. So just kind of go through, pick which one you like. I'm going to go ahead and switch us up to this cottonwood template. So to do that, I'm just going to click on this. And this will take me to the next page, which is selecting a corresponding image to go with the template. You can also select no image. This will leave that area either blank, or you can email us your own pictures and we can put those into the template for you. So if you want to put in a picture of some of the patients that you see there, you can definitely send that to us and we'll incorporate that in for you. Also, with some of our templates, you have the ability to do rotating images. So if you have a few photos that you want scrolling through at the top of your site, just send those over to us and we can add that in for you depending on what template you're on. I'm going to go ahead and select this photo here. And then once I've done that, I now have the option to choose my color scheme. If you don't like any of these colors or you want to do a matching color with your logo or the color of paint in your lobby, you can email us and we can actually put in custom color codes. So that's always an option too. I'm going to go ahead and select this red color. So now I've changed my template to Cottonwood Style 7. This is what it's going to look like. And then if I just click back to your website, that's going to take me back out. And now I can see the changes that I just made to the template. If you make a change and you decide that you hate it or you want to try something different, just go back to that admin home and just change it again. You can change this as many times as you'd like and whenever you'd like. So whether you're on a trial or you're live, you can change that template. Okay, so now we're back out at the website. Now I'm just going to walk through how you would edit each particular page on the site. So for this page here, this is just called a basic web page. This is our home page. This will be the page that they first see when they come to the site. That's this home page here. And right now this page is just basic images and text with some links in here. And this is a button with a link. To edit anything on this page, and this is not including this common content here, just this section here, I'm going to hit Edit Content. And now this brings up the editor with all of the information that I see on the live page. Our editor is a lot like Microsoft Word. If you want to change any of the text, you can just highlight it, make it bigger. You can change the color here. I'll go ahead and make this red. You can change the font type. You can also align your text. So if I'd rather have this on the left, I would click this button here. And then if I want it on the right, I'd put it over there. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the middle. And then over here we have a photo. Let's say I didn't like this photo or I want to switch it out for one of my own pictures. I'm just going to click it to delete it, and I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard. So now that photo is gone, and if I want to add in my own, I'm just going to put my cursor wherever I want the photo. So in this case I want it here, but I could put it wherever I want. So if I actually wanted it down here, I'm just going to put my cursor there or here. So having my cursor where I want the photo, I'm going to right click. And my second option here is Insert Edit Image. You can also get to that by just having your cursor where you want it and using this button here. It will take you to the same place. So I'm going to click on that. This is going to bring up this page here, and I'm going to click on this button next to the source field. It looks like a little magnifying glass over a folder. this is going to bring up the file manager. This is something that you'll use a lot with your website. This houses all of the eVetSites stock images, and they're categorized by species, or you can upload your own photo. So if I wanted to upload my own photo of my dog or a patient that I see there, I'm going to click Upload. And now this is asking where I want to pull the file from. So by clicking Add Files, it's going to search my computer for wherever I've saved it to. So this is my dog Mango. I'm just going to click on her picture. So right now you'll see this is sitting at 0%. You actually have to click this blue upload button to get it to start moving for you. So clicking on that, you'll see this went to 100%, so it's now fully uploaded. I'm just going to close that. And now you'll see that Mango is automatically selected. So whatever photo you've just uploaded, the system will know that that's the one you're going to grab when you hit Insert. So I'm just going to click this. And I'm going to leave everything as is for now and hit OK. And there's the photo that I just uploaded, and it's put exactly where mine was. So now I'm looking at this and thinking, oh, that's a little bit large. So what you can do is double-click on the photo, and you can edit the properties of it. So right away, I'm going to start with the dimensions. So I recognize this is pretty large. I'm going to go ahead and cut it about in half. So I'm going to do 250 here. And then if I just click out of here, it's automatically going to resize that other portion. So now my photo is about cut in half. It's still where I had it put in. And now you'll notice that my text has dropped all the way down here. If I want to wrap this around the photo so that the text is moved all the way up here with the text wrapping around it, if you double click and go to this Advanced tab, you have some other options for the photo. So right here I can align it to the left. That's going to mean my photo will be on the left and my text will be wrapping on the right. If I wanted my photo on the right, I would just put it to the right and then my text would be wrapping on the left. So I'm going to start with it on the left just to show you what that looks like. So now you'll see all of this information has moved up, and now it's right alongside the photo, wrapping around on the right-hand side with my photo on the left. Now one thing to notice here is that the text is right up along that image. So to make it a little bit easier to read and give a little bit of a buffer there, I'm going to go back to that Advanced tab, and I'm going to put a margin on the right-hand side. This is going to be read as pixels, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a number between 1 and 10. I'm just going to do 5 for now. If your photo was aligned on the right, you're going to want to do a left margin. I'm going to hit OK here. And now you'll notice that that text has come out just a little bit. It's no longer right up along the photo. And if you decided you wanted that buffer even larger, you can just increase that number. You'll notice here the style automatically changes with whatever I put in here. That's just going to tell the code what to pull from, and you don't need to worry about changing that. The system will automatically do that for you. Okay, so I'm going to leave that at 10. And then one other thing to note about images is that you can add borders to them. So going back to that Advanced tab, I can add a border here. I can do whatever color I'd like. Hit OK. And then I can give it a width. Again, this is going to be read as pixels. I'm just going to do 10 here. If I wanted it really large, I would do larger than 10. If I wanted it smaller, go smaller than 10. So now we've uploaded our own photo. We've aligned it on the left with the text wrapping on the right, and we've given it a border. One other thing that you can do is add links to your pages. So you'll notice we have a few here. We have veterinarians, about our animal clinic, so on and so forth. This is also a link. So if you want to link an actual image or a button like this, you would just click on the image that you want to link or whatever graphic it is. You'll right-click and do Insert Edit Link, and you'll link your photo this way. If you want to link text, you'll just highlight the text that you want to link. So let's say I wanted to link surgical and dental services to my services page. I'm just going to highlight those words, right-click, right-click, do Insert Edit Link. Again, that's going to be the first option there. And now it's asking me where I want to link it to. So if I was linking to an outside page, like a Facebook page, that's where I would put in the complete URL. You can either copy and paste it or just type it in. So if I were going to the Facebook page, it would look like that. In this case, I want to link within a page on my website. So I'm going to choose from this link list. This is going to list out every page within my website. And I'm going to go to this services page since I'm linking to the services. So now the system knows to pull to that services page. This is the text your clients will see when they click on it. And then this title, that's going to be text that appears if they hover over those words. So here I could put something like our services. Target, I'm going to leave as none. That's because I'm opening a page within my same website. If I were linking to a Facebook page or any website outside of my website, I would do new window. That's going to pull that into a new tab so that your client doesn't actually leave your website. It just opens in a new tab for them. So leaving that as none, hit OK. So now I have those words highlighted. If I hover over them, I see our services. And then if I were to click on this, it's going to take us to the services page. I'm going to go ahead and save all of this. So anytime you make a change that you want to keep, just make sure you hit Save Content. Come back out to the site. So now we see our new photo is here with our border, and now we have this link here. So if I click on this, that's going to take you to the services page. Okay, so now I'm going to jump over to the staff page. And the reason I'm doing that is this page is actually set up with a table. Tables are really useful for aligning images and text so that they look uniform. So you'll see here, the spacing here is exactly the same there as it is here, and you have spacing here as well. Everything looks really uniform, and we did that by adding a table. Same thing, I'm going to go to Edit Content, and here I see the table that's set up for all of that information. I can tell this is in a table because it has these dotted lines around it and down the center here. This particular table is made up of 2 columns. So we have one column here, which goes all the way down, which holds the photos. And then we have this second column here, which includes the bios. And then this table is made up right now of 3 rows. So we have 1 row for the first doctor, 1 row that serves as a buffer, and then 1 row for the second doctor. So when you start out with the trial, this page is going to look like this. If you wanted to add your own photo into here, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just delete this one. So to add the photo, you'll just do that Insert Edit Image. And then over here, you can just change the text and add in your own bio. If you added an additional staff member and you wanted to add them to this page, what you're going to do is add some additional rows here. So you're going to need to add 1 row for this buffer. So what I'm going to do is come down to this last cell here. So each one of these individually is called a cell. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells. I'm going to go into this last cell here. And if I right-click, I get these options here. You can also get to this by coming up here to this Table tab. So coming down here, right-clicking, I'm going to do Row, and I'm going to do Insert Row After. I now have an additional row below that one that's going to serve as our buffer. And then I'm just going to do that one more time. Now I'm going to put my cursor into this last cell, and I'm going to do Row, Insert Row After. And now this is going to be where I put the next person's bio. And then their photo would go over here. And then if you added an additional staff member, just do that one more time. You can also add a column to this. So if you wanted to add a column just for school information, let's say, or the name of each staff member's pet, you can do that by coming here and going to Column and Insert Column After. You could also put it before if you wanted. And then now we have an additional column here. And you could list out everyone's school information on this side. If you ever add a column or a row and you decide that you don't actually want it, you'll just right-click, Column, Delete Column. And same thing for a row. If I decided that I didn't want to add this staff member at this time, just go to Row and Delete Row. Okay, so that's tables. One other thing that you can do with a table is add colors to it. So you can come up here again to Table Properties, or I can right-click to go to Table Properties. You're automatically going to have the width set at 100%. If you wanted to make that table smaller, you can change that number. You can also align your table. And then in this Advanced tab, you can add a border color or a background color. So if you wanted to put some color to really highlight the table, you can do that here. And that's going to be the same way you did with the image, just selecting whatever color that you want. Okay, so that's tables. Now I'm going to jump down here to this Hours page. So up until now, we've only used Edit Content. On this particular page, you can use edit content or edit special. So if I jumped into edit content, I'm not going to see that hours table that I see on the live page. This tells me right away that I need to be in edit special. So if I click on this, now I'll see that I have my hours selection. So you can just come into here and choose from the drop-down. So if your hours ever changed, or if you're still on a trial and you need to change them from what we started you with, just come into here, select from the drop-down, and if you're closed any of these days, just check closed. You'll want to hit save anytime you make a change, and then you can close this. You can also use edit content on this page to put information above. So if you want to write that you're going to be closed for the holidays or that you are closed for a certain time for meetings, you'll just put that right up here. And again, you can bold it, italicize it. You can customize this however you'd like. And then you'll just save that. And now you'll have that right above your hours table, just to kind of make a special note stand out. I'm going to pause for just a second, see if there's any questions so far about tables or editing certain pages. So I'm just going to pause for a moment. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or just ask them in the question screener. Okay, great. I haven't seen any come in. Feel free to ask me to go over anything again or slow down or ask a question while I'm talking as well. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to the services page. This is a page that comes with each new website. You'll want to go through this list. Just make sure that we aren't offering anything that you don't offer at your clinic, or that you point out any unique services that you do offer. Again, on this page, you can link to different pages within your website or outside of your website. So this right here is a link going to the surgical services page. And you can also add your own photos here. Jumping over to the pet library. So the pet library comes with every website. You'll want to make sure that you've activated it on your site if it is a live page. So coming up here, to activate it, I'm just going to click Edit Special. You only need to activate it once, but if you need to come in here and add additional species or take any off, you can do that at any time. So let's say at my clinic I only see dogs and cats. I'm just going to select dogs and cats here. I'm going to hit Save, close this, and again, I only need to do this once, and now the library is activated. So clients can come to your website, click on this pet health or pet library button, and from here they can search any topic they want. So they can either leave it as all species or select dogs or cats, and then they can type in a topic. So let's say they wanted to learn more about fleas. They can type that in there, hit search, and this is going to search the VIN library right within your website. So it's completely embedded here. They don't need to leave your page, and then they can click on any article they're interested in, and they'll read it right within your website. They can also email it to themselves, or they can print it right from this screen here. Something else that you might want to do is if you're ever talking to a client about a particular issue, you can always email it to them as you're talking to them. So you can also add a message, something like per our discussion today, and then add in their email address here, and then you'll email them this full article. This is also a great way to drive traffic to your website. So if you discuss something with a client, you can always say, if you want to learn more about this, feel free to go to my website, and you can search the pet library for more information. Our informational pages, these also come with every website. These are going to be automatically updated. You don't need to worry about refreshing the pages or anything. So we have the pet food recalls page. This is going to embed the Drug and Food Recall Center directly within your site. And again, this automatically gets updated. You don't need to worry about the information being current. So they can browse recalls by year. They can read some latest news articles. We also have how-to videos. So we just offer some videos that we think would be useful for your clients. If you have your own YouTube channel or your own videos that you want to add to the site, you can do that as well, and you can embed those videos right within this page. We also have a list of poisonous plants. You'll see that this is set up in a table with 4 columns. You can add your own to this list, or you can delete any that you don't want added to this. And then we also have a links list. You can add your own links to this. You can delete any that you don't want featured here. And you can also add images to this page if you'd like. Now I'm going to jump over to forms. Forms are a really powerful tool that we offer to you through the website. These are going to be online forms that your clients can fill out from the convenience of their home, and they can submit it, and it will be emailed to you. So we offer a few standard ones that come with your website, but you can always add in a custom form. So for instance, we don't offer a boarding form. If you do boarding there and you wanted to add your own form, you can completely start that from scratch and add your own here. If you would prefer that clients don't submit forms online, you can hide any of these or delete them, and I'll get to how to edit the menu towards the end here. Or you can do a files page where your clients actually have to click on it and download and save it, and then they can print it out from their home and fill it out. Just saves everybody a little bit of come in with the form already filled out and printed. So for the online forms, let's say a client wanted to fill out this new client form. You'll want to make sure that we aren't asking any questions here that you don't want to ask of your clients, or that that you add in your own questions if there's information that we're not including here that you need. So to edit this page, if you go to edit content, you're going to only see that top section. So if you wanted to personalize the wording here, you can, or again, you could add an image here. And then I'm going to switch to edit special to get to the actual form portion of this. So it starts off with the form name. You can change that, or if you were building this from scratch, you would put in the name of the form here. Send form to, this is going to be the email address that the successfully submitted forms will be sent to. You can add a comma here to add additional email addresses. This form response, this is going to be the note that they see after they've submitted something. And you can also personalize this however you'd like. Just come into here and type or add images. And then down here we have all of the fields. So if you wanted to move any of these questions up or down, you can do that with these green arrows. If you wanted to delete one of these completely, just hit the red X. And now that email address is completely removed. You can also check whether or not a question is required. So if you don't really need their email address, you could just leave, or I'm sorry, their address, you could just leave that off. And then if you need to add your own questions to here, you would just select what type of field you want. So you can select from one of our stock ones or add your own. And then you can put in where you want it to go. So if you wanted to add a question at the very top, you can just do it before the name. Or if you wanted to put it below, you can just put it wherever you want it to be added in. Anytime you make a change to the form, you'll want to make sure you hit update here. And again, this is going to be the same for the prescription refill or the change of address or request appointment. So if I go to edit content here, I'm going to see that very top portion. And then if I go to edit special, I'll see this section here. So definitely make sure you go through those and personalize them. Again, make sure that we're not asking anything that you don't need from your client, and that you add in your own questions if you need more information. Jumping over to more features, these are just some additional page types that we offer. We have a calendar page if you want to highlight any special events or any running specials or deals that you have going on. We also have an employment page if you have any employment opportunities at your clinic. And if you want them to be able to fill out a form employment here, they could actually apply for your job directly online too if you wanted to build a custom form. We have a photo album if you want to highlight any photos of your clients and patients. We start you off with some stock images, so you'll want to make sure that you remove those if you don't want those on the site. We have an adoptions page if you want to highlight any pets that are up for adoption. We have a coupon page which we keep hidden for now, but you can add coupons to this that clients can then print out and bring into the clinic. And then we have a site search and a site map, which are pretty self-explanatory. Jumping over to this Contact Us page. This page automatically includes this Google map, which is going to pull from whatever information is listed here. If your clinic ever moved down the street or you changed your phone number, you're definitely going to want to update this page. So again, this has both an edit content section, which will be this information up here, and an Edit Special section, which is going to be where this map pulls from. So if I go to Edit Content, I see all of this information up here. If you want to link to any of your forms, this is a great place to do it. If you want to highlight anything about your location, so if you're hidden behind a parking lot or you're difficult to find, you'll want to put in any special directions up here or any special messages that you want your clients to see. Switching to Edit Special, this is where that map is going to pull from. So let's say I move down the street to 787 West Covell. I'm just going to update that address, and I'm going to hit Save. And then when I close this, my address is now updated here, and my map is now updated. Also on this page, you have the option to include a form that clients can contact you on. So if I go to Edit Special, to activate the form, you'll just want to put in your email address, so wherever you want the form to go to. And then if I hit Save here, I now have a form down here. So clients can enter in a question or a comment, submit it, and it will be emailed to that address I just entered into that field. If you don't want this to be active, you can just come into here and delete this email address. Hit Save, and now that form is completely inactivated. Another page under Contact Us is this Emergencies page. If you have a clinic that you like to refer your clients to, you're definitely going to want to update this page with their information. So if you come up here, again, you have Edit Content, which is going to be that top portion. And then you have Edit Special, which is going to be where that bottom half pulls from. So here's where you will want to put in any ER clinic that you refer to. You'll want to put in their information here. And then when you save all of that, it's automatically going to list their information here along with the corresponding map links. We also have a client feedback page. This is just going to be between you and the client. This doesn't get posted on the website or anything. This is just somewhere where they can type in any questions or concerns and submit it here, and it will be emailed to you. Again, if I go to Edit Special, this is going to be where the form is pulling from. So you'll see the email address it's going to, the subject, the message that they're going to see, and then the questions that are being asked. One last thing I wanted to note about forms is that you might have a client say, oh, I submitted a form and I never heard back. If you want to look at the form responses that you've received that have successfully come through, you can do that through the website as well. So if you go to Edit Special, and you'll want to do this on whichever form they're referring to, you can view results right here. So if I just click on this link, right now there are no forms submitted for this particular site, but if there were, I would see the date that it was submitted and then the information that they provided here. So if you don't see anything here or you don't see the particular client's information who's saying that they submitted one, that's how you know that it wasn't successfully submitted. That means that they either didn't type in the verification code correctly or something happened and it didn't come through, and you can always ask us about that too if you have it happening a lot. So that's how you would check those, and you can also download them as an Excel file and then just print it out if you want to have a paper copy of all of the successful submissions. So the last thing I want to go through is editing the menu. So that's going to be editing this section here. So if you wanted to add pages, move pages, or delete pages, you're going to do that all right here through Edit Menu. So you'll see here we have all of the top page menu items. So we have Home, About Us, Services, so on. And then if I expand that plus sign out, I'm going to see all of the pages that are underneath that particular topic. So under About Us, we have the staff page, hours page, and then we have a hidden page here. I know this page is hidden because it's currently in parentheses. Hiding a page means that it's not viewable to the public. So this is really useful if you're working on a page and you're not quite ready to take it live. You can actually hide it. That means that you have to be logged in to see this page. So if you notice here at the very bottom on the right-hand side, I have yes checked here for hidden page. If I decided I was ready to take it live, I can just hit no and save. And then you'll notice those parentheses are now taken off. So this page is now live and my clients can see it. If I wanted to hide a different page, I'll just come down here, select yes, and save. And now you'll notice it's in parentheses for this page. You can also delete pages. So if I decided, oh, I actually don't want my Clinic Pets page, I would just hit delete here. It's going to ask me if I'm sure I want to delete it. I'll just hit OK. And now if I expand this, that page is completely removed. You can also add pages through this menu item feature. So if you wanted to add a top-level menu item, that's going to go to the very top of your menu. And if you wanted to add a page underneath these other ones, you would just select the category you want it to go under, and you would add a sub-level menu item. So if I wanted to add a menu item here, I'm just going to click that. And let's say I wanted to have a page on boarding. So I'm going to put in boarding here. That's going to be the title. And then here, this page slug, that's going to be the URL. And that automatically gets put in there for you. Description, this is just going to be some information on what the page is about. And then here, you get to select from page type. These are pretty self-explanatory, but if you ever forget, you can click here for all of the different descriptions. Basically, we have the basic web page. That's going to be just text and images. We have a blog page if you want to incorporate a blog, the calendar if you want to add a calendar, and so on. If you wanted to add your own form and customize it, you'll do a form page. In this case, I'm just going to do basic. And I'm going to save this. And now I have my boarding page right at the bottom here. If I wanted to move this up, I can either use these here, move up, move down. So I can move that up by clicking that. And now it's one above Contact Us. Or I can also click on it and drag it and put it there. So now it's back below Contact Us. And then when you're clicking and dragging, you'll notice it kind of gets that border around it. That's how you know you have it selected. But you can also use these as well. So I'm going to go ahead and move boarding under services. And if I wanted to put it actually underneath here, I can expand this out, grab it, and put it underneath that. So you can manipulate this however you'd like. I'm going to pull this back out, save, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. So now I have my new page that I've added, boarding, and right now it's completely blank because I don't have anything there. So if I wanted to hide it while I'm working on it, I'm going to go back to Edit Menu, and I'll hide it, hit Save. So now it's in parentheses, meaning that I can only see it because I'm logged in. And now I can work on it behind the scenes without anyone looking at it. Another page type that we have that you might find useful is we have these integrated content page. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to the home page and selecting integrated content. I'm going to save this. So you can change any of these page types at any time. And what that is going to do is add these articles down here. These are pulling from VIN, and each time your client refreshes the page, they're going to see a whole new batch of articles. So every time it refreshes, I'm going to see 4 new articles. You can also control the number of articles here. So if I come up here to Edit Special, I can choose from here 2, 4, or 6. So I'm going to do 2. And then you can choose which topics you want to include articles from. So in this case, I have all checked. You can also just select cat or dog, whatever you wanted to highlight here. To view all of the articles that are going to rotate through, I'm going to click on this. So all of the articles available from integrated content. This lists out each article that could possibly rotate through your page. So if you happen to see one and you don't really like it, just unselect it and it will be excluded from that page. Coming back over here, you can also add your own articles to rotate through here. So if you wanted to add your own article, you would just click that here, and then you fill in the information. So if you had your own articles, it would look exactly like this. And then when they click Read More, they get to read the full article here, and then they can go back. Okay, and then now that we have discussed how to add links and images, I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to customize certain sections. So for instance, over here in the common content, we have these social media icons. You can swap those out. We have some different variations of these that you can choose from. And I'm going to show you how to link them. So we're going to go back to Admin Home. And again, for that common content section, we're going to hover over Administration. And I'm going to go to Common Content. So now I see these buttons here. If I just want to link it and I don't want to change what it looks like, I'm just going to right click and I'm going to do Insert Edit Link, and I'm going to type in the address here. So you'll want to put in whatever your Google Plus link is, and you'll have that here. Title, again, that's going to be what they will see when they hover over it. So follow us on Google Plus. Sorry, I can't type today. Okay. And then target, again, because they're going to a page that's not within your website, they're going to do New Window. So now if I hover over this, I'm going to see that you can follow us on Google Plus. And then when they click on this, they're going to go directly to your Google Plus tab, or Google Plus page in a new tab. So it would appear right here. If you want to change what these buttons look like, if you right-click and do Insert Edit Image, and again, you're going to click on this button next to the source field to get to our file manager. I can go into the image bank for eVetSites, and I can click on this icons folder. This is going to be all the buttons that we have available. So we have some hours ones, care credit buttons, here's the hours little clock. We have credit cards, emergency buttons, and then here are my Facebook options. So if I wanted to switch it out to this little paw here, I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to hit OK. So now I have the paw print here, but I notice it's a little bit large. So if I double click on it, I can change the size right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. So I'm going to do 50 here and just click out. And now that other size, or that other portion has been resized. Now if I hit OK, now it's half the size, and it's that little paw print. And again, if I wanted to link this, just do Insert Edit Link, and then I would add my link in here, what I want it to say when I hover, and then New Window since it's an outside page. And then I'm just going to hit Update here, and then when I come back out, I'll see that little paw print. Okay, so I'm going to pause for just a second, see if there's any questions about editing the menu or switching out the buttons. So if you have any questions right now, feel free to raise your hand or put them in the question field. One other thing I did want to point out, if you ever get stuck while you're editing your site, we do have this help button here. If you click on that, it's going to take you to the eVetSites help page. So we have some tips and tricks here. If you want to put in a particular topic and search for it, you can do that right here. So these are some useful tools too. Okay, so we have one question. Can you go back to creating a blog page? Definitely. So if you go to Edit Menu, so you're wanting to add a page. So let's say I wanted it to be along the top. I'm going to do Add Top Level Menu. I'm going to title this Our Blog. And then from here, you have this page type option. So if I wanted to embed my blog directly into the website, I'm going to choose Blog. Sorry about that. I think my internet just went down for a split second. So I'm going to go back in here, change this to blog page, and I'm going to save. So now I've added the blog to the menu, and I've made it a blog page. And then now what I'll do is, so now I have this blank page. I'm going to go to Edit Special, and you have the option here to pull the blog. So if it's on Blogger or WordPress, Typepad, or Tumblr, I will just type the URL in here or copy and paste it, and then it's automatically going to pull from there and pull all of the blog posts that I've done. And then you can choose the number of blog entries that you want to show, and then whether or not you want the first entry open. So that would have the entire first blog entry showing, and then the rest where you have to say read more. And then once I hit submit, I'm going to see my blog directly embedded within the site. So it's going to look a little something like a library, where it's embedded right within the page, but it will be your actual blog. So you just go to Edit Menu, make sure you have Blog Page selected, and then you'll go to Edit Special to actually pull the URL from your blog. Okay, there's another question about customizing anything on the site. So no, there's no charge for customizing colors or photos. So if you wanted to put your own photo here into the template, or you wanted to customize the color here, there's no charge associated with that. You can just give us a call or send us an email, and we can help you out with coding that into the template. Something else that I did want to mention is that we do offer makeovers, and those are also complimentary. So if you aren't happy with how your site looks right now, or you're ready to completely revamp it, we can definitely do that for you. What we do actually is create what's called a copy site, which is basically a duplicate site of what you have now, but we keep it hidden behind the scenes. So we work on it without your clients looking at it. They're still going to see your live page while we're working on it. So you basically have a second website that we work on, and we can put it on a different template. We can help you with customizations. And then from there, once you're completely happy with it, we can take it live. So if that is something that you're interested in and you want to work on a makeover for your site, feel free to send us an email, and our email address is listed here. So it's support@eVetSites.com. You can also give us a call at this number, and we're always happy to help you with that. We want to make sure that everyone's website looks exactly like they want it, and we can always help you too with just updating the site that you're on now. So if you're not interested in a full makeover, but you just want to make some tweaks to your live site, we can definitely help you out with that. So we have a few more minutes here. Please feel free to ask questions or raise your hand if you want to speak. If you want me to go over anything again, or you have any specific questions, please feel free to let us know.
Okay, we'll stay on the line if anyone has questions, but it looks like we have a question that came in. What is the cost to do a makeover copy site? There is no cost associated with that. So we'll stay on the line for several more minutes, but that concludes today's orientation. Thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Again, if questions pop up later, don't hesitate to give us a call or an email. There will be a recording posted on eVetSites.com under support orientations. So if you want to review that. If not, we'll stay here for a few more minutes if you have more questions. Thank you.
So Dr. Arun, if you're interested in the green site, that was the cherry template. So that's this one here. And then you can select what photos you want to go with it. So if you're interested in switching over to that one, that would be the cherry.